Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and a happy end of May. This is my May favorites video and I am going to do a get ready with me with all my favorite goodies. If you're excited to see what is my favorite for the month, go ahead, stay tuned because we're going to get right to the video. Okay, so I am super excited. I got some really fun things. Some new things, some very expected things, but some very unexpected things. And of course, I couldn't make up my mind again about a couple things. So, lots of things. I hope you guys had an awesome month. I think spring has sprung. I have baby deer in my backyard. I love seeing them. I have ducks and turkeys, and everybody's having fun in the woods behind the house. So, it's always fun to see new life come. So, I am going to talk about two things that are favorites, but they're more body care, hair care. First is a Moroccan Oil Dry Texture Spray. I use this instead of hairspray almost daily. Hairspray seems to dry out my scalp, and I end up with itchy scalp, but this, it gives me texture, and I want to say it holds a little bit more of the curl. So I do really like this. I have to get a big one because this one's almost out. I've also been trying tanners this month, and I have decided I have one I really like. This is by Tanologist. This is the Express Tan Self-Tanning Water. I have mine in the shade Light. I do get this at Target. This is kind of a newer to the United States, but you guys, this is so great. You can see my chest and neck is very tan, and my face is not. I will say I have tanned my face with this, and it does fine. It doesn't irritate anything. It doesn't clog pores. I didn't notice a difference in anything as far as that, but I will say if you're using micellar water, it will take the tan off. So that is why I have a very pale face and why the rest of me is still very tan, but this has no smell. I don't mind a tanner smell, but this has almost no smell. If anything, I smell something fruity. I don't know if it's the tanner water or if it's like my body wash, like my own other things I use on my body, but this is fantastic. I will be repurchasing this. I love this stuff. All right, let's get onto the makeup. Primers. We always start with primers, right? Okay, so Kelly really has a problem and loves primers. I think that might be one of my top favorite categories, and I don't know why, but it is. I love primers. I can't decide between three of them. Now, I did a full month basically focusing all on L'Oreal brand exploration, because there were just the few things that I have tried by L'Oreal were like hands down home runs, like holy grail, holy crap, stop the train, like yes, love. So I've been trying a lot of L'Oreal. I did pick up the Infallible Glow Lock. I like this. I like the way it grabs onto my foundation. I think it blurs. I think it does a really nice job with a natural glow, and you can wear just this and be fine, and it's beautiful. It's not overly done, but I love the Revlon Color Stay Prep and Protect Primer Base because it has an SPF in it, just because extra SPF is extra SPF, and I like it. I love the way this wears, and it does an amazing job on blurring and grabbing and holding and making everything really last long, but I got Yensa Color and Face Tone Up Primer Essential Glow in my Ipsy Glam Bag Plus, and I really like this. Like, I really like this. It adds a little bit of glow, it blurs, it grabs, and it's got skincare benefits. So they like all three do something different, but I love all three of them. I can't decide. I am going to wear this one today because it does have extra skincare, and I'm already putting my sunscreen on. Wow, I've had way too much coffee, but I've already put my sunscreen on, so I do know that I have SPF on. So I can't decide between the three. They're both great. So if there's something that you're kind of looking for, and I described it in one of these three, these are fantastic. Again, I'm going to use this one though. So it kind of changed since last month, but it didn't change, if that makes sense, because I still can't decide. I still like the one from last month quite a bit. But this, it's the extra benefits, I think, is what does it. And I do really, really like this primer. And it has worn beautifully underneath everything. It doesn't pill up or anything. Sometimes when a primer or any really makeup item, when it has skincare benefits, sometimes it pills up with other skincare that you have on underneath. This one doesn't do that. And it is hydrating, in case anybody with dry skin is wondering. It is hydrating. I do like the way it wears. I do hit the inner corners of my eyes right here really well, and just underneath my eyes. I really like it, you guys. And I think it's great. Side note, Kelly lost her sponge and I had to use my fingers for foundation, and I actually like the way the foundation wears with just using my fingers. So we're using fingers again today. And that brings us to concealer and foundation. I am not going to pick again this month. I still love the Revlon Candid as well as the L'Oreal Fresh Wear. Wow, this is going to be lots of mumbles, you guys, because lots of coffee. I really like these both. Again, they're both great. They both wear great. They both can be set or not set. They both dry down, or they can be applied with a brush, a sponge, or your fingers, and they're great. I love them. I'm not choosing between the two of them. Ride or die, I will grab both of them. They both fit in my hand, so that works, right? I did try the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer this month. I really like this. It's not drying. It is full coverage. I just like it. I don't have to set it. I like not setting things, but I also really still love the Candid, you guys. They were similar but different. This is more of a medium coverage. This is more of a fuller coverage. I like them for different reasons. Again, just like the primers, I like them for different reasons. I can't live without both of these, so they're both favorites. So again, they're both favorites, but I think Candid might be my home run for if I had to pick. I would pick this one just because I like more of a lighter coverage, or not light coverage, but I like a medium coverage is my comfort zone. So I would probably pick this one. Sometimes the full wear is just, it's full wear. I don't need full wear. I don't want full wear. So we're going to start with this one, and I have to start with concealer first because I am tan. So I haven't upgraded my concealers to a lighter shade. So I do conceal first, and then I go in and cover it with the foundation. But this, I really, really like this. Anywhere I want concealer, I will put. I can't describe why. I prefer using my fingers. No. But I really love this coverage. I love the medium coverage. It cancels everything I need out, and this is a really great concealer too when I was not tanning, to just cover the darkness on any redness and just go. Mascara and go. So this is a really great no makeup day kind of concealer. I am going to upgrade this concealer. I already upgraded the foundation. So I did upgrade the Infallible Pro Wear Fresh Wear just because I was doing the full month of L'Oreal. So now that it's kind of almost over, I'm gonna grab the Revlon. But I originally was the shade 420 when I am not tanning, and this was almost a little too light as it was a little too dark. So I probably could have gone with like 415, 410 maybe. and I have jumped down to $4.55. So the tanner really, really has given me something that's beautiful, and it's not dark, which I like. It's not crazy dark, but it's not orange either, like at all. And I do just use my hands when I apply the tanner, and I just make sure I wash them very good, and I do not have orange palms. So, and again, I'm just using my fingers because I lost a sponge. I did end up finding it. It ended up in a box that got put away. So it was found. So there's not a sponge just randomly hidden. I think one of my kids probably was playing with it and dropped it in the box, and then there it stayed, and I just kind of put the box away. But I really do like the way this foundation wears with my fingers. Kind of back to basics this month. A lot of drugstore finds. Well, I mean, I did a L'Oreal month, but I really do like just doing my fingers. And I did test out a couple different foundations just using my fingers, and yes, you get really, really dirty and everything like that, but that's soap and water and it comes off just fine. And I find that I use a lot less, and you can still build with it. You can still do all the things you can do with the sponge or a brush, but I feel like I have more control with my hands. The brush, you get almost pretty much guaranteed you're gonna get the fuller coverage. The sponge, I feel like you might be able to have a little bit more control as far as like whether you wanted higher coverage or lower coverage, and then build it that way too. But this one, I just really like it. There's no smeary marks or anything like that. Plus, I'm not dirtying a brush or having to remember to find a sponge. So, have you guys tried this foundation yet? Or the concealer? What are your thoughts? Let me know. Let me know your skin type and everything like that, and let me know how it wears on you. I absolutely love both of them. In a very good makeup spot. I'm so happy and satisfied with all of my makeup, which is, it's a good feeling. It really is. Love, love makeup. And right now, I'm so happy with what I have. I also don't set this underneath my eye. Get off my face. I am just gonna tap in some extra coverage on my upper cheeks like I always do. I also think that from my hands warming up the foundation, I've had so much less settling. Like my fine lines on my cheeks up here especially, aging skin, it is what it is. But it settles much less when I use my fingers. I almost wonder if like the warmth of my fingers are helping. I don't know, I could be talking crazy talk, but I always make sure where I usually do crease to make sure I dab, dab, dab. And then I am not creasing as much. So I get it looks like skin, but coverage and no settling. So I'm going to go wash my hand real quick because I have stuff on the back of my hands and my fingers are gross. So I will be right back. Okay, I am back. Clean hands. And I am getting ready to, let's do eyebrows, right? We'll do eyebrows next. And I do a trick with my eyebrows. I do use a powder, and my favorite is still the Revlon Photo Ready Candid. I really, really like this one. It's great underneath my eyes and all over my face, or just for my brows, and that's why it's my favorite. It's not only good for one area that I use a powder, so this is a favorite. I will be buying this one again when it runs out, but I don't use powder that often, so it's gonna be a while before I do run out of it. Especially if I'm just doing my eyebrows with it. It'll last forever. But I just dab it right around my eyebrow area. And I just find that I have so much more control, and it gives me a perfect brow so much faster than if I don't do this. I might start using more powder once the weather really warms up. I live in Michigan, so take forever for us to warm up, but we will eventually, right? Someday. Okay, so my favorite brow product has changed. I ran out of the NYX and I wanted to try something else, so I did, again, because it was a L'Oreal month. I tried the Brow Stylist Definer Ultra Fine Tip Shaping Pencil. I have mine in the shade Brunette, and it's just a micro pencil, and it does have the spoolie on the other side. I like this one better than the NYX because of the tone and because of the way it applies. I feel like this is not as stiff, and this one lasts. Not that the NYX didn't really last, but it was just a little bit drier than I like. And this really is the best of both worlds, for me, anyways. And that is it for my brows. I very quickly can just run through this, and it is the perfect shade for me. It's not warm, it's not too cool. And it gives me fill where I need the fill, but it also allows me to draw the hair where I do need it. So this will be a repurchase for me. I love this one. I'm glad I kind of tried something else because this hits all the marks for me. Next, let's do eyeshadow. Okay, so we all know Kelly loves some neutrals. I still really do love the Milani palette from last month. I have a new favorite, and I think eyeshadow palettes for the most part will always change for me. This is the L'Oreal La Palette Nude. I grabbed this one because these shades are all neutral. They're not warm neutral. They're not cool neutral. They're just neutral. I did a Tulix Tuesday because there are some tutorials on the back and I wanted to see what they look like, and I don't think they have them labeled right with the right colors. I'm just going to say that. I don't think they do. So, but I've been playing with this palette all month, and I really like it. I love the versatility of it. I love the ease of it, and I love these shades. I've always been a cool toned girl, but I really love this. I didn't think I was going to love it as much as I did, and I think that's why it's a favorite, is because it surprised me. It very much so did surprise me. First, I am going to put on some eye primer. This is the Ulta Beauty Matte Eye Primer in the shade Nude. This is a Ride or Die. This is my favorite. I've tried a couple, and I just keep going back to this, so I meant to mention it last month and did not, so it hasn't changed, just in case you were wondering. Still very much so a favorite of mine. And I just take a little bit on my hands, well, fingers, and I just dab it in, and that was way too much. I really only need a little bit of this. It does have a little bit of color to it, and it does cancel out the redness and the veining in your eyes if you do have that and you don't like the concealer or foundation on your eyes. This will cancel a lot of it out anyways. But I like this one because it doesn't give me a sticky base, and I don't have to set it. I mean, it's a preference. It does dry down, but it doesn't dry down matte like Sahara Desert, Don't Move, clay mask kind of matte. It dries. Let's say that. It doesn't crease. It does everything I want it to do for what it is. I'm just going to let that dry for a second. And I want to know, what is your favorite palette? Do you guys change your palettes? Like, is it what you've just been reaching for that month? Or is it whatever's new? Or let me know. Have you panned a palette and, like, rebought it? That is really interesting. I want to know. Who has, like, panned an eyeshadow palette and then said, this is so good, I want it again? I want to know. I want to know what palette that is. Or if you know somebody that has panned a palette, send them to my channel so I can and tell them to comment in the comments, because I need to know. I want to know what palettes get panned. I am just going to start with a big fluffy brush, and I'm going to dip into the shade right here. It is a very matte shade. And I'm just going to place this in the crease. I'm going for just something very everyday, neutral, almost natural eye makeup. I have a very fun shirt on, and I'm going to let it just be a fun shirt day. And I like neutral eye makeup day. I really don't live that boring of a life, but I love, I guess, boring makeup. I don't know, it's not boring to me. I love the natural beauty that comes through. And this is almost like a primer bronzer kind of a look, kind of a shade. Oh, lots of coffee, lots of very strong coffee. Next, I'm going to go into this gold shade right here, right next to it, and I'm just going to use a flat shadow brush. One of my favorite shadows, actually I don't have a favorite shadow. Delete. Don't even remember I said that, because this whole palette is so great. And what I like is it gives me the amount of punchiness. I mean, this shadow is very foiled. Well, it's not a very foiled shadow, but it is exactly in pan as it is on eye. I've used them with my fingers, I've used them with a wet brush, and I've used them with a dry brush, and it's all the same, and I love it. There's no fallout, there's no kick up in the pan. It's so good. I love this palette. Next, I'm going to take a very small, tapered, detailed brush, and I'm going to hit this shade right here. This is also a matte brown. And I'm just going to ever so lightly kind of run that on the outer third of my eye. And then I'm going to tap a little bit up above like my natural crease, and then just kind of give some depth into my natural crease, but just above, just to raise my eyeball a little bit. Create a little bit of a shadow there. But see, it's so quick, it's so easy. And that's what I like about a palette. It's just so good. And I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't really expecting, to be honest. I bought both of them, both the big palettes, and I thought I was going to like the mauve one. I thought that was going to be, oh my god, I've had my eye on it for probably 3 or 4 months. Nope, it's the one that I was not expecting to like this one as much, and I absolutely love this one. Super quick, super beautiful. I love this. I'm going to take this kind of crazy flat shadow, I don't know what you would call this, but it's a crazy flat shadow brush. We're going to call it that. And I'm going to go into this shade right here, this first one. And just lightly, I'm going to dust that into the inner corner, keeping it kind of closer. I'm not fanning it out too much. And I'm going to run that along the lower lash line as well, just to really brighten it up in the inner corner, make it seem youthful and awake, because I have been living on Benadryl for days now, and I'm tired. I'm really tired. Also very caffeinated. Surprise! Absolutely no surprise. No surprise at all. Next, I'm going to take a small tapered brush, and I'm going to go back into the shade right here that we used for our crease. And I'm going to just do a little bit on the lower lash line. Nothing too crazy, but just something to kind of bring it together. I find it's almost like mascara and I have to do it. Otherwise, I feel like I skipped a step. You know, it's nothing crazy. It's something, like I said, to pull it all together. I think it glams it just enough to be like, I glammed my makeup, but I'm not super glam. But anyways, that is this palette. I really, really have enjoyed this. This is a very quick, very simple, very beautiful look. And you guys, I wasn't expecting to like this. I like the neutral neutrals. Surprise to me. Okay, next let's get into the rest of the eye makeup. Let's do some liner. This is one of my favorite liners. This is the Maybelline Lasting Drama Light Liner in Shiny Bronze. I love this one. I love it because it does enough brightening, but it's almost skin tone for myself, and that's why I really like it. And I only do just a little bit on the inner corner here. Maybe the first third, and it just, for me, it kind of extends that inner corner brightening. It's not overly glittery, so it doesn't do like glitter chunks. It doesn't irritate my eye, and when this is out, I will buy this again. And of course, my newest favorite is the L'Oreal Infallible Never Fail eyeliner. I have mine in the shade brown that I'm going to use today. I also bought navy and black. I don't ever use black, but I don't know. I was like, buy all the liners. This is a really great liner. Usually, I have repurchased Cargo Swimmables Pebbles Beach 3 or 4 times, and it's one of the sharpening pencils, and I'm surprised that I love this, but I love this. I don't have to mess with the the pencil sharpener anymore. And this one it glides on. It does a really, really nice job of just filling in my eyelashes for the top waterline, lash line. It draws on the upper lid very well. It doesn't grab, it doesn't pull, and I have very textured eyelids, and it lines just the way I want a liner to work. It's beautiful. It lasts all day and anywhere I put it. So very quick, very easy. It's a very chocolatey brown. It's not a warm brown. It's not a cool brown. It's just like a chocolate bar on my eyeballs, and I love it. I also, a repeat favorite, this is the Benefit Highbrow. I don't like these kind of pencils, but this one is just, it's fantastic. And I just ever so lightly tap some on and then just blend it in. And it really does a beautiful job of highlighting the eyebrow bone without being too much. It's beautiful. I will repurchase this. I really, really do like this if you're in the market for one of those as well. Okay, face products. I love this one. I love this one. I hit pan. I'm gonna pan this one, and I will be repurchasing this. I did decide. I have many, many bronzers in my collection. Yes, I have face palettes. Do I need another bronzer? Absolutely not. But when this one is gone, I will repurchase it. This is the only, I think it's the only luminous bronzer I have, but I love this one. I love this one because I can contour with it. I love this one because I can bronze with it. It's really, really pretty on the eyes. You can build it up to kind of get that shimmer, and it's really nice too. So again, with the versatility of the product is really why it's my favorite. I have one crazy hair right here, and it's kind of bugging me. Anyways, I can't beat it. I do have mine in the shade Light, in case you were wondering, and I can build it even though I'm quite tan compared to where I usually am sitting, I can still build it up. I can still use it even when I'm very, very, very pale. So just lighter hand is all. There's no shimmer. It doesn't cling to anything as far as texture or lines or anything like that. Beautiful, beautiful product. I did decide I was going to buy this again. Just because I panned a bronzer. This is a big bronzer too. I'm excited, but like, wow. It took me probably, well, I've had it for about a year. I didn't use it exclusively for the whole time I've had it either, just because at first I was like, I don't know if I like this, and then it was like, oh my god, I really love this. So then I used it all the time. So I've used it a fair amount, and I mean, obviously all month I have been using this, and I did fall in love with it again. I panned a bronzer. I panned a lot of this bronzer. I switched my favorite blush again. In this, again, it surprised me. I bought this months ago. I tried this months ago. This is the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Blush in N12 Precious Peach. When I first got this, I was like, I don't like this. I didn't show up. It just didn't do anything. It did stuff, but it didn't do what I wanted it to do, and I didn't like it. But I pulled it back out because month of L'Oreal. And whether it was new in my collection or not, I did pull all L'Oreal out. And I have been using this, and I've been using the crap out of this now. It has a little bit of a sheen to it, kind of like the Margin Frost by MAC that is one of my favorites. But this one almost has more of a natural feel to it, natural look. You can build it. And so I was wondering, why on earth is this all of a sudden like a ride or die favorite? And I think the reason is very, very recently I'm into the natural flushed look. And I think that's what it is. I think the reason I didn't initially like it is because I was still on a different tone. That too. This is very much so a peachier tone, and I was into more of like a rosier, pinkier kind of tone, and my tone preference has changed quite a bit, and I really, really like this one. This I love. I would recommend this. It doesn't grab to anything on my cheeks either as far as texture, and I have lots of texture right in here, and I do take my blush pretty high. I blend it up instead of down. It's so natural. It gives a natural flush pink kind of just, oh my god, this is a great blush. This is a great blush. Why is nobody talking about this? This is amazing. I love this love this blush. Way too fast. Way too fast today. Way too excited. My highlighter has not changed. The Wet n Wild Loose Highlighting Powder in I'm So Lit. This, you guys, this is just, it's so good. It's so good. And you can use this all over your body. Seriously, I can't get enough. And I just use what's on here and just lightly tap into it. And it just, it's so beautiful. It doesn't, I mean, you look at it and you're like, oh, that's a lot of glitter. And it's loose glitter. And it's going to cling to everything. But it doesn't. And it wears really beautifully. It doesn't, you know, settle, and the more I smile and move and I'm like a human being throughout the day, it doesn't gather. It lasts all day. It's a great eyeshadow. It's a great just everything. The only thing I wish it had like a sifter lid because it's messy, but I do love it. You guys, if you are not afraid of a loose highlighter, this is great. It's $5 and I will be buried with this highlighter because there's no way I can use this whole like container. Next, I want to talk lips. I debated about even mentioning whether a lip pencil is worth mentioning, but I am going to mention it because I am an avid lip gloss wearer, and sometimes I like a little bit of color underneath like a sheer lip gloss, so I am mentioning this. I do like this. This is the L'Oreal Color Riche Anti-Feathering Lip Liner in the shade Rose. It's a very neutral color. I'm surprised. Kelly picked something neutral, but I like it. So it glides on really well. It doesn't feather just like it says, but it also really stays. And I'm an avid coffee drinker. I'm an avid water drinker. I drink a ton of water throughout the day, and this stays. It really helps, I think, give some glosses that are on the sheer side, or if you're just using a lip oil. I mean, this is fantastic. I love this color. So it is pretty much just my lips, but better. I do prefer a lip liner because my lips are uneven. So I even them out. I overdraw one side more than the other. And I really like this pencil. It stays in my purse. It was just a couple bucks. And I really like it. There's no taste. There's no anything. It's great. It's a great just all over lip color too. If you wanted to roll with that as well. And for lip products, I have a new favorite lip gloss, which is weird. It's really weird. It's not. I love lip gloss so much. It's hard for me to pick a lip gloss. But this is the Infallible 8-Hour Pro Gloss from L'Oreal. And this is in the shade Coral Sands. It's just, same thing. It's a very nude, but it's got somewhat of a glitter in it. And it's just, it is so pretty. Again, I keep this in my purse and I just throw it on over top of this. And it's beautiful, which is what I'm going to do because I love this. The glitter inside of this, you do not feel it. It does actually stay. I mean, it's a lip gloss, so of course it's going to transfer. But eventually it still stays. It's very hydrating and it claims to be an 8-hour Pro Gloss. And I would absolutely give this 8 hours. As long as you're not eating something messy where you're getting food on your lips and you're wiping your lips. But if you're just throughout the day talking and drinking, you know, your water or your coffee or whatever from the straw or from the cup, whichever, it stays. And your lips do stay hydrated, which is something I appreciate. I have some lip glosses that you have to reapply every couple of hours, which is kind of a pain in the rear when you're out and about. But this gloss, I actually really do like it. It doesn't have too much of a taste. I mean, kind of vanilla, but there's not really a taste. Flavor, smell, whatever. It's an all over good gloss. I also want to mention a new lipstick because I have been Ride or Die Milani for I can't say how long, but a while. And I got the Bella Pure Cosmetics. This is a mineral lipstick in the shade Incognito. I got this in my Ipsy Glam Bag Plus, and it's pretty much the same shade, but I like the way this one wears. A little bit more. It's a little bit more hydrating than my Milani, and it's a color I have 15 shades of, but again, it's beautiful, it stays, and it is more hydrating than the other ones, but it does dry down matte. So the lasting power on this, I think I've worn this for about 10 hours, and that was through 2 meals. And it was still there. So hands down, I really like this one. I'm so happy to have had that. Also, very big shocker, I have switched out my favorite Holy Grail setting sprays. I have been obsessed with the e.l.f. for a while, months. So I tried the L'Oreal Lumi Shake and Glow Dew Mist. You do have to shake it. It does separate. There is a little bit of coconut oil. If you don't like coconut, you're not going to like this. If you don't like coconut oil on your face, you're not going to like this. But there is coconut oil in here, but I don't use a lot of powder products, and I don't have a lot of powder products on today, but I have tried it with setting my face full of powder and then spraying this, and it literally takes all of the powder and it just melts it into the skin, and it looks like skin. It doesn't look like there's powder on your face anymore, and I love this. The spray on it is very, very fine. It's very, very beautiful. It's not overly coconut scented, but again, there is coconut in here, and that's why you have to shake it. It does separate. I really love this. Okay, and lastly, let's talk mascara. Ugh, this is really hard for me. I absolutely love the Clinique High Impact Mascara Duo. This has a lash primer and then the mascara on the other side. I've used this for years. I still really, really love this. And I've tried this one this month. This is the L'Oreal Double Extend Beauty Tubes Mascara, where you have I think they called this one a conditioner and then the mascara tubes on this side. They are both a mascara, but this is kind of a different formula. It's a tube. And this is like a paint. Would you call mascara paint? Yep, it's painty. This is like tubes. I want to do take off this mascara because it's amazing. All I do is I take my makeup remover wash rag and I get warm water on it. I set it on my eyes for a couple minutes. Well, a couple minutes. I say a couple minutes. 30 seconds. Just water. Just warm water on my eyes, and then it rubs off. There's no scraping my eye. There's no rubbing my eye. It's not... The mascara is not coming off my eyelashes and getting in my eye, and then I'm screaming like a little kid because I have something in my eye. It rubs off. It just rubs off. It's kind of weird. It's kind of gross. It makes a mess. But I like this. I want to buy this again. I really, really do. So I'm going to go ahead and curl my eyelashes, put some on, and I'll be right back. That is everything on my face that is my favorite. If I were to sit down with all of my favorite makeup things, this is what I'd have to have. If I was leaving right now, I would grab this bucket and be like, okay, let's go. I think there's a couple things where I can't decide between two, but I'm allowed to have more than one favorite, right? I didn't do it for everything. So it was just basically like the face base. I can't pick between the two or three things, but yeah. So I hope you guys had a lot of fun. Let me know, do we have any of the same favorites down in the comments? Let me know. I have to know, am I just an oddball where I just really am into this natural looking makeup, and it's my favorite, and I think that's why the neutrals are a favorite of mine, because it enhances the beauty that is already there. So, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and find me on my other socials. I am Glam with Kelly over on Instagram, and come chat with me on Twitter at glam_Kelly. I almost said something else. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.